but I don't want to take up a whole lot of the time because Stephanie's got a lot to go over with you guys as well. She's going to give you a really great breakdown of how to get to diamond in 6 weeks, because it is really simple, but there's action that we have to be doing in order to get those results. So, you know, as we start to do this, you guys, you have to learn just to make this a habit in your life that you're going to work your business. You've got to set aside some business hours. You're going to have this mindset of, I will always work harder for anyone else than I will for someone else. You're the only person you can count on. You've got to be willing to show up for yourself. And sometimes, especially women, right? Like in this job, there's nobody who is making you show up at a certain time to do your business. There's nobody making you work this business. But we have to make a decision to make it a priority. If you truly want to build a business out of this, and this is more than just a hobby for you, then you've got to set aside business hours and treat it like the $1 million business that it is. Sometimes I think that we take advantage of the fact that, oh, I paid $160 to start up this business. It didn't really cost me that much money. We don't have a whole lot of buy-in to it. We don't really take it super seriously. But if you were to go and open up a restaurant, a McDonald's franchise or something, and you spent, I don't know how much it costs to do that, let's say $500,000 invested in that business, you would certainly show up, and you certainly wouldn't quit after the first week when things got hard or you got, you know, slow business or something, because you've got a lot invested in it. And so you just have to get into the mindset of treating this business the same way, because it most definitely has the ability to pay you back like that. So you're either going to show up to reach your goals, or you're going to end up showing up to help someone else reach theirs. So you've got to be there to show up for yourself. We are going to be tracking. Okay. Now, I've done a group before where we've had you on a tracker that I'm checking regularly and pulling you out of the group if you're not doing it. We're doing a little bit differently this time. I do want you guys, though, to do it. This is, we're not necessarily going to kick you out for not doing it. We are going to be doing some prizes along the way for people who are doing it. But we want you to be responsible for your business and for the goals that you're setting in your life. Here's the reason, though, that we track. Trackers don't lie, and we are asking you to show up and post your tracker in the comments. And I'm going to assume that if you didn't post your tracker, that maybe you didn't do it. And so that's a problem. Am I asking you to do it 100% perfectly? No. I mean, that would be awesome if you did, but if you're not posting it because you missed a day or, you know, something got behind on it a little bit, I still want you to post what you did. But, you know, sometimes we have this mindset of, well, I had good intentions to do the tracker. Like, I meant to do it. I got it out. I was ready to do it, but my kid got sick. But we're on spring break and my house is busy. Guess what? I have all of those buts in my life too. But again, I treat this like a business, and I don't let things like that throw me off track from not getting my work done. Now, I have the ability to maybe work a little bit less when I need to, but I'm still going to get my vitals completely done for the day, the things that are going to move my business forward the most. So trackers are the things that don't lie. Hang on just a second, Kate. Let's bust it in here. No. You go back out with Daddy, okay? Sorry. Sorry, I don't even know where Greg went to. Hopefully he's going to watch the kids in a second. You know, I say I'm going to do a webinar. He's not watching them. All right, so trackers are the only things that don't lie. We as humans, you know, we give ourselves the benefit of the doubt, like, oh, you know, I meant to, versus, you know, what's actually happening, right? So you can only really count what you're doing as the actions you're actually taking, not the intentions you meant to take. Now, what I want you guys to remember, as you start to track your business, maybe you get to the end of March and you're like, well, I've tracked my business all month. I've done all the invites it says to do, and I still missed Success Club, or I didn't add a coach to my team this month. That doesn't mean that you failed. I really want you to take the mindset during this that we are going to be also looking at, like when we talk to you at the end of this call, we're going to ask, like, on a scale of 1 to 10, how did the week go? And I want you to judge that based on the actions that you took, not necessarily the results that you got. Because there's going to be weeks when you work this business that you don't sign up a coach and you don't sell a challenge pack. But what you are doing today is going to impact 3-6 months down the road. Here comes Caitlin again. So if you don't get the results that you want this month, then you have to look back on 3 months ago. What were you doing? There's Greg. What were you doing 3 months ago? And if, let's see, 3 months ago was basically December, right? Who in here can say that in December you were kicking butt, showing up every day consistently with your invites? I mean, I was, but were you? If you weren't, then you could be feeling, if you're feeling a lull right now and February and March has felt hard, then that is probably because December is catching up with you. So that's why consistency is so important, that you stick with it, because you've got to know that what you do today impacts a few months down the road. Your goal is to build momentum. So I'm not going to keep talking because I've already taken up like 10 minutes. So I'm going to let Stephanie take over here and share her slides. And Stephanie has been a coach with me for a few years. She is an incredible teacher and mentor, and she's my girl that I always go to and we brainstorm ideas back and forth.
We ramble on voice messenger is really what we do.
She gives great ideas to me as well to pass on to corporate that I've been told that I have to give her recognition for one day.
Yes, that's right. Okay, guys. Hey, thank you so much for being on. I know we all, or I don't know all of you, but I know the ones that I do know have kids. And I know this can be a really tough time of night. Even I know I can see some of my West Coast girls, and I know that this is probably like dinner time. And I'm Central Time, so this is like bedtime. So I appreciate you guys making the sacrifice to be on tonight. I promise you that I'm going to keep this as concise as possible. You can get all the information from it, and then you can hopefully go and do it, right? So before we start, I do want to introduce myself because I know that not everybody on here knows this. And I just wanted to share with you my diamond story. I just think it's important for you to hear different stories and different perspectives. I don't want anyone to ever compare. I know that sometimes I do this. I hear things on the National Wake Up Call and they're like, she went, whatever, 5-star in a year. And you're just like, what? Like, is that what successful is? Because this is not the journey that I am on, right? And so I don't want you to have that type of mentality at all. What I think I love, or what I know I love about Beachbody, is that really everyone can take these products, put them into their life, and you can make this business your own thing, right? So this is totally yours and your journey. I signed up to be a coach, and I signed up to coach. I did not sign up to be a discount coach or to be in just a challenge group and maybe I'll coach. I signed up to make money. I loved Beachbody products. I was a Beachbody believer. Beachbody came out with a new program. I did it. In fact, the summer between my sophomore and junior year in college, my mom had bought P90, which is like the original Tony Horton, on VHS. And I came home and I was like, okay, sure. I was working in between school, I'll just do this program. I did this program. I lost 22 pounds. And from there on out, I was like, I loved it. Okay. Just loved it. So I even took my VHS videos of P90 and packed 2 10-pound weights in a suitcase when I went and did a summer in the Dominican Republic. I taught in the Dominican, and I also traveled the country and everything. Anyways, I packed all that in my suitcase because I had been doing it for that whole year. They did not have a VCR or any type of anything in the house that I was living at. And so I would do it in my room every single night. I had memorized it. I knew it by heart. My mi familia thought I was crazy. But I loved it. So there's no convincing me that these programs worked or these products worked. And so as Kristen was talking to me about a challenge pack, I was looking at her page, learning about a coach. And I remember she put something on her page that said something like, it was like a sneak peek. And she said something about, she's making 6 figures. And I remember telling my husband, I don't know what a Beachbody coach is, but I love Beachbody programs. And if you can make 6 figures, like doing these programs and like telling people about them, like I am in, okay? Like this is something I want to do. We needed the money. And so I remember I signed up for my challenge pack. It was 21 Day Fix Extreme. I got my Shakeology. I'd never drank Shakeology before. I'd never been in a challenge group before. And I remember messaging Kristen and I said, I cannot afford Shakeology. Tell me how I can earn this money back this month. And she said, okay, you have to get 3 people in a challenge group. And I was like, okay, done. And you guys, it was not, and I think I have to go back to remembering this, and you too have to find this in yourself. It was not a choice for me. I was going to find these 3 people to pay this money back to myself, because if not, I couldn't do this anymore. And for me, that was not, I didn't want that to be an option. So it was there is no way this isn't going to work. Okay. So I found those 3 people. I found out that at Emerald, I was going to earn like $14 more by cycling. Had no idea what cycling was. I was in here, I was doing this for money, right? So I was like, somebody's going to pay me $14 extra. Great. I will be Emerald. Signed up my husband and my mom. My mom still drinks Shakeology to this day. And then I remember having a conversation with Kristen during that month. So this is still my first month coaching. I think I was Emerald like the first 2-ish weeks. And I remember talking to Kristen and I was like, tell me about leads. Like, what does that mean? And she said, well, if you get to Success Club 10, you're going to get paid leads. And I was like, more money? Okay, I will do it. And so I made sure that I got to at least Success Club 10 that first month. And then Kristen came to me at the end of that first month. So now we're in April. And she said, I think you should push for Diamond. And I was like, okay. I wasn't even really sure what that meant. I was just Emerald. I had just had my mom and my husband signed up. And she said, yeah, I think you should do it. And let's make it a goal by May 20th. So it was like April and May 20th. And I was just like, okay, like it means more volume. It means bigger cycling. It means more of a paycheck. Like I will do it. And so I went all in, and by May 20th, I woke up Diamond. So you guys can do this in a short amount of time. You just have to have the belief, okay, that this is easy. This is not hard. We overcomplicate Diamond so much. And I wish it almost wasn't called Diamond, because I think it makes it sound like so like pretty and like unattainable and whatever. And it is like a huge accomplishment, but at the same time, I feel like sometimes it puts fear in people, like, oh, I don't know if I can do that. You can absolutely do this. If you're sitting here today with 2 coaches under you, you can be at May 20 or May 2nd, right, as our goal, May 2nd as a Diamond coach. You absolutely can. Okay, so I'm going to hopefully share some slides with you. Share screen. Yay. Okay, I'm going to cut this off so that I don't. Okay, I'm going to try to go through these quick. I cannot see you. So if you, I don't know, if you have, I will look at the chat later. Okay, so here we go. First thing is, and some of you guys have heard this if you were in a mentorship group that Kristen and I did, this is the same thing, but always good to hear things twice, right? So, the first thing is just like I said, like Kristen said, we need to stop overcomplicating this, okay? This rink is easy. You simply have to get 8 people started on their journey, all right? And really, one of those people is going to be your husband, and you are going to make him Emerald. So you are in charge of that you are in control of that full enrolled and that full side, which is awesome. Okay. Tip number 2, you have to stay 100% committed. I love short-term goals. I am like queen of procrastination. And so if you say to me, like, let's try and get you to diamond in 6 months, I will just like wait and blah. And then pretty soon we're going to be like a month out and I'm going to be like, oh my gosh, I better hustle. So I love this May 2nd deadline because I think it's easy to focus for a short amount of time, right? It's easy to put it all in for a short amount of time. And that's really what you need to do. You have to be committed to your journey and personal growth. That is why we are doing Girls Stop Apologizing. You have to be doing PD. I think it is the one thing that people like to ignore or forget, like, oh, maybe it's not that important. And it is probably the very like top thing that you need. I find so much value, even just things that I can share or like post about on social media from all the stuff that I'm learning through my personal development. Okay. So it says, yeah, be ready to engage in personal growth daily. So that's what we're doing. Make sure you are doing that. And I don't read. I love reading. I was actually an English teacher. I love reading, but I have 3 kids. We're very busy. I don't have time. So Audible is my best friend, and I listen whenever I'm in the car. So if you are feeling like, I don't have time for this, that's okay. There are so many apps nowadays that you can just listen to things, listen to podcasts. Okay, tip number 3, your social media is completely non-negotiable, all right? I'm sure you guys have heard this before, so I'm not going to like go completely into it, but like this is your storefront. You know, if you kept trying to go to a store and it kept being closed, you would go find another store to go to, okay? So just like a brick and mortar store, you need to be open so that people really see who you are. And this is not just about fitness, nutrition, call to action posts. This is just about you, all of you, right? So you want to paint the picture for them about what this has done for you and how this can impact them. So 1 to 2 posts a day. You know, we used to say, gosh, when I started coaching, it was like 3 to 5 times a day. It felt like you were posting all the time. Now you really don't need to do that. I mean, Instagram, definitely you only need to do like 1 time a day. And then Facebook, same, I would say 1 to 2, and then just, you know, be in your stories. But here are some different things that you want to talk to people about, your purpose and why, you know, sharing why you're doing this. Here are my kiddos. My paycheck pays for all of their activities, and they are busy and expensive children. And so if I just decided like, I don't want to do this anymore, well, then I have to go tell, you know, my oldest, like she can't be in volleyball anymore, or my son that he can't do, you know, baseball, or my little one that she can't be in swimming or gymnastics, like all the things that she loves, right? So they are the reason why I do this job. Share a little bit about yourself, right? Again, you know, here is definitely something about me, right? It says I'm trying to be more organized, not like alphabetize the pantry organized, more like stop buying the gift on the way to the party and wrapping it in the car organized, right? So you're kind of just sharing something about yourself. And don't fall prey to feeling like you need to be anybody else or anything else. Just genuinely be you. You are attracting people that you want, hopefully, in your groups and on your team, and you want to attract the right people. And the only way to do that is to just be genuinely you. You want to show people, you know, behind the scenes, like this is what my life, when I work out, I have this crazy child next to me. You know, encouragement and motivation. Again, being you, right? Like I'm a health and fitness coach, but I'm telling this girl, like, girl, I'm literally eating a cookie as I type this, right? So you want to figure out really who you are as a coach and go for it. Personal insight, sharing recipes, or just, you know, maybe the way you eat or the way you do life. I mean, sometimes I'll talk about my chore system with my kids, or like how I do laundry, which is not well. We want to show the benefits of our programs, and then also, you know, showing the products, which here the example would be coaching. This was a diamond retreat that Kristen took us on. Okay, that's social media. Let's go to the meat of this. Now, listen, I did this back in January, obviously, so here are the dates for that. But this is going to be a typical Beachbody week. So it's going to be, let me see if I can do this really quick. Yeah, this is going to be we're talking like a Thursday through a Wednesday. Okay. So today's Thursday. All right. So by next Wednesday, here would be your goals. All right. So this is an example of a quarter one. So we'll do quarter two, right? Diamond plan for someone with no one in their downline. So if you have anyone in your downline, you are ahead of this person in this plan. Okay. But here is going to be those goals. I got to put this back again. 1 second. Let's see if I can move this over. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So you want to help 3 people get started as discount coaches. Now, there is always talk about like, should you offer the discount to everyone? Should you not? I'm a firm believer on offering it to people. First of all, it's a better deal for them. If people want to stay on Shakeology, which we want them to do, or stay on the performance line, which we want them to do, it's going to save them money. Okay. Secondly, I don't know if you listen to the National Wake Up Call, but pretty much every, I don't know, their success is going to rely on being in your groups, doing programs, being on Shakeology. So getting them the discount and getting them set up that way is better. So offer it to everybody. And I can put in the comments somewhere or a post somewhere of the little thing that I say, where I just basically explain, like, there's 2 ways to sign up. You can do it this way and get this discount, or you'll still get your deal today. You just won't get the discount going forward. It's very straightforward. It tells them, lays it all out, and then they just decide yes or no. Okay, so you're going to invite 30 people this week. So 30 people, 20 to a challenge group, 10 to coaching. All right, that averages out to roughly 6 people a day. That is no big deal. All right, you guys are total ballers. You can absolutely do that. And then this is going to lock in Success Club 6, if you're not already there, by mid-month, right? Which, again, and this is just a little tip, I love, and you should love, hitting Success Club by the middle of the month at least. I know Kristen tries to hit it like day 2, but we can't all be like Kristen. So I like to hit it by week 2, and then you just have the rest of the month to pick up more Success Club points, but focus on inviting to coaching, and also focus on your coaches and the next month. Okay, you're going to schedule 7 posts on social media that have valuable content and go along with your brand. At least 2 of them invite to the business. So this doesn't have to be out and out invites. Like, for example, some of us in here, I don't know everybody. I hope some of you in here that I don't know are also going on the cruise that's coming up. But like, for example, I know I'm going on the cruise. Kristen's going on the cruise. I don't know who else is on here right now. I can't see everybody. So those are going to be things that we can talk about or post about. And it doesn't have to say at the end, like, if you want to do this with me too, you can. But you can definitely show the value of coaching through just like the lifestyle that you have now, or that it affords you, right? And then also, when it's talking about being your brand, really take some time, if you don't already know, like, figure that out. Who are you, right? Like, for example, I really preach and focus on balance. I am not like a hardcore, like, I will never eat donuts again. I am more like, I am going to drink a margarita on a date night, and I'm going to have a donut at church with my kids, and I'm still going to be a healthy person, right? That is who I am, and that's who I want to convey. And those are the women I like to join my team, right? A balanced person. Some of you aren't like that. That's okay. Some people are hardcore, want to go all in. Great. Be that person. Don't feel like you ever have to change or be different, right? Because this is all about you and your people. Okay, you want to make it a goal to have 5 people interested in coaching, and you're going to send them the What is Beachbody coaching video. And I think we've posted that, but if not, I will post that as well. And again, this was for January. So we will put them in a sneak peek. Now, I am part of Dream Big, which is Kristen's team, and we run a sneak peek every month. Because you guys are all on different teams, I don't know if you do that or not, but if you are a Dream Big team person, we run a sneak peek every month, okay? What I love about a sneak peek and also having the coaching video as a tool is that some people need the sneak peek. Some people like to go in there and they like to listen to everyone talk. They want a lot of information. Some people want that 11-minute get to the point video to make their decision. So it's always nice to have like those 2 different tools. And I just kind of feel people out about it. I can see that you guys are chatting, but I can't see the chat. So I'm not ignoring you. I will get to it if it is addressed to me. Okay. And then if they say yes, you're going to begin the getting started right process for a new coach. You're going to sign up if you haven't yet. You're going to sign up your spouse and or a parent, someone's account that you can control. If this happens, your downline is going to look like this. All right. And then your paycheck is estimated to be $150 in commission. That's awesome for a week. I could use $150, right? I wish I could see. Oh, hold on. Okay. Week 2. You're going to go Emerald if you weren't already. All right. You're Emerald. You're going to plan your next challenge group. So you're talking to your upline about the details for that. I know for Dream Big, we're going to be running an Ultimate Portion Fix group together that we actually got open today. Okay, you're going to help 2 people this next week get started as a discount coach. You're going to invite 30 people this week, 20 to a challenge group, 10 to the business. That's going to stay the same the whole time. Basically 6 people a day. This locks in Success Club 10. Plus, I earn a $100 bonus for enrolling 5 discount coaches in 5 weeks. Did you know that existed? I found this out when I was doing this. If you enroll 5 discount coaches in 5 weeks, you get a $100 bonus. Now, again, going back to my original story, and it has stayed the same. I love what we do. I love our products. I love our programs. I love groups. I love helping women. But at the end of the day, we need my paycheck. So to hear that I could earn $100 extra by signing up 5 discount coaches, that is motivation to me to do that. Okay. Again, you're going to make sure that you're posting on social media. They have valuable content. They're showing who you are. Okay. You're giving people recipes, or you're just showing people your life, or you're explaining how you get your dishes done with all of your kids, or something that is true to who you are, but is also being valuable to others. All right. You're going to, again, be inviting people, hopefully plugging 5 people into the sneak peek or sending them the video. And then you're going to get $100 in commissions plus $100 bonus. So your check for that next week is $200. Here is your downline now, right? So you have these coaches, and then you also have your spouse or parent signed up. And the next week just kind of goes on the same, you guys. You're going to continue to invite 30 people, 20 to a challenge group, 10 to the business. You are going to post on social media. You're going to work on getting people signed up, right? You're going to help 2 people get started as discount coaches. Again, you're adding coaches, right? Your paycheck is estimated to be $100 in commission, and you made $450 in the month, all right? Not in January, because we're past that. And it just keeps going on and on. The point of all of this, because I don't feel like we have to keep going through it, is that I hope that you're seeing is that one, it is simple, all right? It might not be easy because you do have to be focused, you do have to be organized, and you have to be committed, all right? But it's not like this super, there's no trick to becoming a diamond coach. There's nothing that you don't know. All right. If you've been coaching for a while, and by a while, I mean, let's say I don't know, 6 weeks, right? You know everything there is to know. When I started coaching, I had a notebook piece of paper, and I invited 2 people every day, and I followed up with 2 people every day. And that got me to diamond in a very short amount of time. That is all I did. And we like to really overcomplicate this and be like, I have to, whatever, have this mind-blowing social media post, or I have, there's something I'm not doing, or I have to pay for Facebook ads, or I have to, whatever. That is not the case. You need to just invite people, be you, work on yourself, be in your personal development, and not to sound totally businessy or whatever word we want to use. It is a numbers game. If you want to hit a big goal in a short amount of time, it comes down to pushing yourself a little bit more. So if 6 people a day, inviting 6 people a day seems like that's way more than you've been doing, okay, then you can absolutely bet that that is going to get you more results than you've been getting. And like Kristen said, maybe May 2nd isn't your diamond goal. Maybe that's not what happens, because maybe you haven't been this consistent for a while. And so if that's the case, then you are going to see all of this momentum start. All right. And so then 2 months down the line, 3 months down the line, you're going to be like, I'm signing up coaches all the time. Okay, I'm just going to come down here till you're diamond. Okay. All right. So when this happens, right, this is what your downline looks like. You have a coach that is emerald, and you have a parent that is emerald, and you have these coaches. And then in 5 weeks, you made $706, which is pretty awesome, and totally, absolutely real and doable. Okay, totally, absolutely real and doable. Again, not to, everyone's story is different, but when I signed up to coach, I'm going to stop share. When I signed up to coach, I was working part-time as a teacher, and I didn't want to keep doing it. I didn't want to pay for a babysitter anymore. I didn't want to drive the 35 minutes into the city. Like, I didn't want to do it anymore. And I remember telling Kristen, again, I signed up in March, and I remember telling Kristen, I need to make $1,000 by June. Not like total, like I need my monthly paycheck to be $1,000, because I need to quit this job. And I want to be able to tell them so that I don't have to, go on to the next year. And she's like, okay, well, you can do that. You have to get a downline. You need to get coaches. You need to, you need to build a team. You need to get to diamond so you're cycling more. And I just blindly followed that and did that. And I 100% made $1,000 in June, like it is not mind-blowing things. It's really just following directions, right? Being teachable, being coachable, and really pushing aside some fears to make sure that you are actually inviting people. You cannot put up a post and expect people to come to you. That is not what's going to happen unless you have like tens of thousands of followers on Facebook or Instagram. The majority of us don't, right? And so we have to make sure that we are inviting people behind the scenes. Okay. Chris, are you still on here? Yes, no? Yes. Okay. If you guys have any questions, I'm kind of reading through these. If you have any questions, I'll post those slides if that would be helpful. I'll post those slides in the group, and then I'll post the what is coaching video for those of you that maybe don't have it. What else were we going to post? Oh, the script for signing up discount coaches. Kristen, was there anything else?
Sorry. Between kids and dogs around here. We need to go over the prize. I was working on getting everybody's name in the drawing.
Oh, yeah.
So, but I also wanted to open up there's a lot of us on, so
Yeah.
we can definitely, I think what we'll do is after this, we'll put next week we'll do this. I'll think ahead. Sorry. When we do our tracker, I want you guys to post with the tracker on a scale of 1 to 10, action based. How did you do? Remember, measure it based on your actions, because that's what we really want to make sure we're getting. Of course, we want results, but we want to make sure that you're actually doing enough actions every week. And so that's how you're going to rank yourself. What's wrong, Madeline? Okay, I'll be out in just a minute. Lord Almighty tonight. Does anybody have any questions? I see Natasha's asking us to put up that flyer.
Yeah, I was going to say too, Natasha, I use that. Yeah, there's a PDF, there's a doc that's really good about coaching that I send to people, and I will post that as well. And then really what Kristen posted in the chat is pretty much what I say as well.
Yeah,
but I'll post exactly what I do, and then obviously you guys can like tweak it too. But does anybody have any questions? Does anybody
mute yourself too and talk? Anybody
want to talk about anything?
With or other ways to recognize. I mean, if you see a challenger being successful in your challenge group, recognize them in the group first. But you know, if you want to give them a public shout out, I always just ask first. In fact, this was something we were talking about in our, Stephanie and I are in a group with some people who are working towards 5-star this year. And one of the things that one of my friends mentioned that was a really great idea to do, let's say you have a challenger that you either think would make a great coach, or you haven't asked them, or maybe you have asked them and they've just been kind of scared to do it. And they're afraid to share the results, but yet they have a great transformation. You could ask them, hey, you know, I know you aren't comfortable with sharing this, but do you mind if I share this and tag you in it? That way it's not necessarily like them putting it out there, but you're giving them that recognition. You know what I'm saying? So their friends still see it, you know, but again, I only do that if I've gotten that permission from them. But you putting that out there and recognizing them for the results, you know that their friends are going to be like, dang, you know, and so then it's automatically like, girl, you see all the support you're getting? You need to sign up to be a coach. Is the hope that they would end up doing that. So that's a good way to do it. Yeah, if they're shy, especially if they're afraid to brag on themselves, you can brag for them.
Right. And then also for like coaches, you know, like we want to help our coaches, especially as you're building a team, as you are recognizing the girls in your downline that can be successful, that want to be successful, but maybe they're just, you know, they're new, or there's something holding them back, or they're just not sure. You want to recognize them first on your team page, of course, and it can be for anything. We actually have a coach in Dream Big. Her name is Martha. She's not on this call. She's fantastic at recognition. I know those of you that are in Dream Big page. I mean, Martha recognizes her coaches for all sorts of stuff. Look at this great post they put up. You know, whatever. Look at the results they have. Like, she just invited her first person. Like, it's awesome, and it's really inspiring. But also to recognize your coaches, any type of achievement that they have done publicly, and to tag them too, so that you are helping their audience see them as well, because you want to obviously help them grow a team, right? That's a goal. Like, once you get to Diamond, your job then is to obviously grow bigger, but help your people grow. And so kind of digging down into your downline and seeing like, who can you help have their audience see them. And so recognizing your coaches publicly as well for whatever. I mean, even if it's just like, this person's amazing and I'm so excited to have them, you know, work with them every day or whatever. It doesn't have to always be like health and fitness related.
Yeah. Anything else?
Tips for best way to help folks that aren't so savvy with Facebook, but speak about it.
Well, I mean, there is the Challenge Tracker app if you find that you have a lot of people who are like that in that category. I don't know. Do you have any other suggestions, Stephanie?
No, I mean, I would say that, I think that, and I'll be honest, like I go back and forth. I'm totally, I don't know if you guys know like the gems or whatever, but I'm like a total like sapphire ruby. And so I'm very social. And so I love Facebook groups. I feel like they're very interactive. And so I've struggled with using the challenge tracker app because I don't always feel that way. But what I do love about the challenge tracker app is that you can see where people are participating. So if you do have a lot of shy people, or maybe just people that want to be in a group, but Facebook overwhelms them, or they hate notifications, I get that a lot. Or, they like to just be a fly on the wall. The challenge tracker app's great because they can go in and they can log workouts and they can log Shakeology, and you can check on them, right? You can see like, oh, I haven't seen, Sarah posting at all, but when I go and check on her, like, dang, she's killing her workout. She's done 10, or whatever. And then you can even message them on the tracker too. So they don't have to, I don't know about you guys, but I have people that are just like, oh, I don't have Messenger on my phone or whatever. And so you can message them through that. I have a ton of people that I feel like in a group, I don't know what they're doing. Like if I'm messaging them, like, what are you doing? How have you been? But on the tracker, you can completely see like, okay, she's not posting a sweaty selfie, but she's tracking all of her Shakeology and all of her workouts. So it is really good for people that don't enjoy Facebook. And it's good as a coach, you guys. Like, I'm resistant to the tracker app, but at the same time, like I am using it lately, and I find like it gives you a lot of good information. So anyways, okay. She says, yeah, okay, love this. Okay, so Marcy said, okay, she says all the time, there's so many groups, Dream Big, Challenge, etc. Yeah. Yep, Facebook can be overwhelming. Is she an active coach, Marcy? I have a lot of shy people on the tracker. Is great for one-on-one interaction. Yes. Of course, they're only 5%. I mean, sometimes the tracker app is good for smaller groups, honestly, especially, again, you don't recognize in the tracker that there's not as much participation. I know that sounds strange, but like in a Facebook group, you can see kind of like when it's dying, right? Like we all have those groups. So by week 3, they're just like, it's like you and like your coach posting like nobody else is posting. Like you can tell that, but in the tracker, you just, the way that the post comes up and stuff, you just really it's hard to recognize that. And so sometimes for a smaller group, the tracker can be great for that. Okay, she is active in the sense that she has folks she wants to help, but she really doesn't know how to do it. So maybe the tracker app is a good option for her if she ever wants to run a group. Right? Like I'm thinking about my mom. My mom's a coach as well, and she was an active coach for a while. And like, I think that even the women or men, whatever, mainly women that she would help would not want to be on Facebook all the time. But an app, right, where they could go in and like, click, I did it. Like, I think that's very appropriate, for that like age group or generation, I would think. Okay. Any other questions? Yes. My mom was one of my emeralds. That's the other thing, you guys. Listen, I've said this in other groups too. The team that you go diamond with is probably not a team that you're going to keep. I know that sounds like, what, right? Or whatever, but you are constantly, if you guys have read the book, Get Over Your Damn Self, she says, like, if you're not adding 2 coaches a month or 2 teammates a month to your team, you're actually like going backwards, right? And that's just simply because, and that's just MLMs in general. That's because people are going to quit. People are going to die off. People are going to go inactive. So you have to be constantly adding and adding and adding. So if you need to, in the short term, right? Like in the time that I've been a coach, I have lost diamond once. And it was like for a week, right? And it was a total, like, my mistake. I did not catch one of my emeralds going inactive. And I had like only this one on one side and all of my other ones were on the other side. And that's, and in the meantime, like I said, all of my coaches that I got to Emerald with, besides my husband, like or got to diamond with besides my husband are gone. So you're just constantly replacing, right, the people that are dying off. So if in the meantime, I made it to diamond simply because I had enough coaches in my downline. I made my husband emerald, and I helped my mom get to emerald, you know, and then I just didn't stop. So then I just said, okay, now I need to, you know, I need to find more working coaches. I need to find more working coaches. Like, so if to get to diamond, you need to do something like that. You need to sign up your mom or whatever. You know, my mom genuinely loves our products, so that was not a problem. But if there's somebody else in your life where you can say, hey, would you want to do this, and have this placeholder, right? Like my sister-in-law, for example, buys Shakeology sometimes. Well, I signed her up for the discount, and I will, you know, I can pay her business fee. And if I need to put people under her, I can. Now, I'm not going to rely on that all the time, but when it comes to, if you're focusing on hitting a goal, sometimes that's just what you do. And it's okay, because you're not going to stop working, and you're going to make sure that you're constantly holding rank and pushing forward, because you're always inviting to your team and you're always adding people, right? We get into trouble when we add discount coaches and then we just stop working and we don't add and we don't invite anymore. That is when you get to a place where you think like, oh, cool, I'm diamond or I'm emerald or whatever. Like, people go inactive all the time, you know? So that's where you have to just always be finding new people. Okay. I know I said I wasn't going to keep you, and then now we're 8:50.
Yeah, just seeing the road ahead is really important. You know, I'm always trying to look at my downline and kind of predict where some of my weak places are so that I can start coming up with a plan so that I can fill that hole, or hopefully not have a hole and have a backup there. So, yeah. All right. Awesome. So,
Yeah. All right, are we good, person?
Okay, so our winner tonight, hang on, let me pull up my, I did the random name picker generator. This is a great website, by the way. You just Google like random name picker, and you can enter names and then click have it pick, and it will give you someone's name. And so I use that sometimes in my challenge group, so when I do drawings for my team. So the winner is Mary Bruce. So you are going to get a really awesome Beachbody hat. We're going to send that to you. And this was a shorter week with the tracker. Next week will be a full week. So you're going to track from, Friday all the way through next Thursday, and put that in the comments next week. And then on Sunday night, we are going to put a drop your updated diamond roadmap. So every Sunday, look for that so that we can see where you're at. And you'll post along with that, like what's your next place that you're going to be putting a coach? What's your next plan and step? Okay. Thanks, guys. Thanks for dealing with the chaos around my house tonight, too. Mom life. If I can do this, you can do this. Good night. See you later.